What's up, everybody? It's day 6 of 31 and 31, and fuck it. I decided to watch Dead Space Downfall because, why not? And one of the movies I was originally going to do, it's really hard to find. And so I decided to just replace it with this one instead. And, part of me is glad that I did watch this one again. And I almost wish I hadn't watched them out of order. But it doesn't really matter if you watch them in order or out of order or anything like that. So what's the big thing with Dead Space Downfall? Well, it's the prequel to Dead Space, the game. Basically, you're following the crew of the Ishimura as they find the marker that's on Aegis 7, and then what happens to them as they bring it on board, and what happens to a lot of the characters that you kind of run into, as well as who you find on the ship. And when I mean find, I mean, dead. And it's still very interesting. I it's better than Aftermath. It's a lot better. And one thing that is better is that the animation's consistent, right? But again, the animation does go between being really good to being just mediocre. It's also, both these movies, I didn't really mention on the last one, but both these movies are really short. Like, this one is like an hour and 14 minutes, and the other one's like an hour and 12. So they're nice and bite size. They are doing good stories, and I think that you get a better story on this, even though a lot of it is just really action, is really just the ship being taken over by the necromorphs. I mean, that's really all you're getting in this movie. You're not getting much else. Where at least Aftermath, it gave you a little bit of story, and it lets you, it was a situation that was being told and everything like this. Where this, it's just a lot of them running around trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, how to survive, and how to get out of the whole necromorph menace that's happening on the Ishimura. But what I do like about this one is that it does give you that information. Like, it actually adds a lot more to the story, and you get to find out everything about the Ishimura before you even get on it. This one is from, I think, 2008. So you're going back quite a bit to get the information for the story. And I think that this definitely would benefit from, like, funny enough, a remake or a redo. Because it's interesting, and it's interesting enough that it's worth your time. And you got decent characters, decent voice acting. Like I said, the animation goes from good to bad at times. Sometimes it just feels really bad. But again, with any type of direct-to-video animation like this, I don't expect much more out of it. I could expect more, if it was nowadays, because I think animation, especially with VOD, has become like a lot. Like, you look at like Invincible, right? Like, the animation on that is pretty damn solid. And that would be direct-to-video back in the day. And today, it's just a VOD streaming. So you get a lot of really cool stuff. Even look at the Castlevania series. The Castlevania series is awesome animation for something that's just on Netflix. And back in 2008, this is the quality that you would have got on Netflix if they were doing their own animated show. So I don't fault it too much. And I think it's interesting because, like, you get to, know a lot more about Dr. Klein. You get to see the captain and how he dies before he's sent into the sick bay and stuff like that. And how, like, the distress beacon gets sent out and everything like that. So, again, it's interesting. I think it's worth a watch if you're a Dead Space fan. It's not going to be something that, you have to, it's a must-see if you're just kind of rather, just want to watch an animated horror movie. I'd probably leave it out of there. But, it's still good enough. And maybe it's going to get you, if you're interested in playing the Dead Space series, it's going to get you into the lore. And it's definitely, I wish there was a lore, like, animated movie or just anything on everything that happens way before, like the founding of the first marker and everything like that. I think that would be fucking awesome. But still, I think that this adds a lot more than Aftermath does. So I think it's worth a watch. It's available on Tubi right now. And this still gets a 3 out of 5, necromorphs from me. Again, still fun. Still, it's still just lacking. But I give them props on the runtime, because I think if it would have been any longer, it would have totally lost interest. You would have lost interest so fast. So, all right. Well, that's it for day 6. Make sure that you check out the next ones that are coming up, and we'll see you soon.